Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you're tuning in today, you already know that the NFL season is heating up, and the NFC North is no exception. The Chicago Bears, coming off a season filled with ups and downs, are once again positioning themselves as potential contenders, and there's a lot of buzz around some strategic moves that could take this team to the next level. One of the biggest stories of the week revolves around rumors and reports suggesting that the Bears are eyeing a significant trade deadline move that could reshape their offensive core and bolster their chances of making a deep playoff run. And let me tell you, this isn't just speculation. There are solid sources hinting at a potential deal involving Tennessee Titans wide receiver Calvin Ridley. Yes, you heard that right. Calvin Ridley, the 30-year-old Alabama product who has been a deep threat in the NFL and a former Pro Bowler in 2023, might be heading to Chicago. Now, for those of you who follow the NFL closely, you know Ridley's story is quite remarkable. After a suspension in 2022 due to betting issues, he came back strong in 2023, showing that his speed and ability to stretch the field are still very much intact. Last season, he caught 22 passes for 348 yards on 38 targets, averaging an impressive 15.8 yards per catch with 2 touchdowns and a PFF grade of 76. 2, which is quite solid for a player operating primarily as a deep threat. His career stats are also noteworthy: 486 receptions for nearly 0 yards and 47 touchdowns in just 85 games. That's a significant body of work for a player still in the prime of his career. What makes Ridley so valuable, especially for the Bears, is his ability to be a true game changer. His deep routes, top-tier conversion rate on those routes, 46.2% deep conversion, and his YAC numbers, which hover around 2 yards per reception, mean he can turn a simple pass into a big play. For a team like the Bears, that kind of explosiveness is exactly what they need to elevate their offensive attack, which currently ranks around 15th in the league, with 218 yards per game through the air. That's good, but it leaves a lot of room for growth, especially when you consider how much better they could be with a proven deep threat like Ridley. But let's not forget, the Titans are in a rebuilding phase. Sitting at 1-5, Tennessee has been sellers at the deadline, with rumors swirling about their willingness to part with Ridley and other assets. Their current quarterback, Will Levis, has been underwhelming, with a passer rating of just 79.2, definitely not the kind of production that instills confidence. The Titans are looking to rebuild, and their recent picks and trades reflect that. Ridley's potential trade to the Bears could be part of a broader strategy to stockpile draft capital and rebuild the roster from the ground up. Reports suggest that the Titans might be willing to part with Ridley for a 4th-round pick in 2026, along with Tyler Johnson, a depth receiver who can add some versatility to Chicago's offense. Now, let's talk about what this could mean for the Bears. Right now, their passing game is solid, but it lacks that true game-breaker outside of DJ Moore, who's been a bright spot all season. Moore has been dealing with some hip and groin issues, but he's expected to be back for the Week 8 game against the Saints. Still, adding Ridley would give Chicago a legitimate WR3 who can take the top off defenses, especially when paired with Oduns, who has been rising and showing flashes of brilliance. With Moore, Oduns, and Ridley, the Bears could boast a trio of receivers capable of surpassing 800 yards if everything clicks. That's the kind of depth and talent that could push the Bears into a different echelon offensively, especially when considering how their red zone efficiency has improved, moving from 18th to top 10 in touchdowns per game, with about 2-0 per contest. This move could also have ripple effects beyond just the offensive numbers. Ridley's presence on the field would create more space for other players, including Williams, who has been making the most of his deep balls, hitting a 48% completion rate on deep throws, up from 38%. That kind of improvement is huge for a team trying to stretch defenses vertically. Plus, when you consider third down efficiency, the Bears have seen a 14% increase, reaching around 43.2% which is critical in keeping drives alive and maintaining offensive momentum. The addition of Ridley could amplify all of these trends, making the Bears' passing attack downright dangerous. And don't forget, with K-Met being limited and week to week, the depth at the tight end position could be a concern, but the focus right now is on bolstering the receiver core, and Ridley fits that mold perfectly. Now, you might be wondering about the defensive side of things. The Bears have been working on shoring up their defense, especially along the line and in the secondary, to complement this more explosive offense. But the focus on offense is clear. They want to maximize their scoring potential, especially since the NFC North is fiercely competitive this year. The Minnesota Vikings have been inconsistent, and the Green Bay Packers are still trying to find their footing, but the Detroit Lions are emerging as a powerhouse. The Bears need every offensive advantage they can get, and adding a player like Ridley could be the piece that pushes them over the top. And let's not forget, this is not just about this season. The Bears are building a foundation for sustained success. The NFL is a league where a single trade or signing can shift the entire landscape, and if they pull off this move, it could be a signal of their intent to contend for years to come. Moreover, the psychological boost for the team and fans alike would be substantial. Imagine the energy around Soldier Field if Ridley joins the squad, instantly making the Bears a more dangerous team and improving their chances of securing a playoff spot. With the NFC playoff picture still wide open, this kind of move could be the difference between an early exit and a deep run into January. Now I should mention the odds. The Bears' Super Bowl odds are currently around plus 4,500, but with the potential addition of Ridley and other pieces coming together, those odds could shorten significantly, possibly down to plus 2,800 or even lower if they keep up this momentum. The team's targets per game, especially with Ridley's projected 7-8 targets, would skyrocket, and the YAC numbers, yards after catch, would add even more firepower. Plus, Ridley's ability to be explosive against blitzes, with a 20% increase in explosive plays versus the blitz, makes him a perfect fit for a team looking to surprise defenses and score quickly. Looking ahead, the Titans' fade in the standings, combined with their current roster shakeup, makes Ridley an appealing trade target for the Bears. If they get him, not only do they get a proven deep threat, but they also send a message to the rest of the league that they're all in on winning now. This potential trade could be a turning point, not just for this season, but for the franchise's future. It's exciting to think about the possibilities, seeing Ridley in that navy and orange uniform, terrorizing defenses and helping the Bears climb the ranks once again. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you believe Ridley could be the missing piece that propels this team into playoff contention? Or do you think the price might be too high? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions matter so much to us and to the future of the Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. We're in an exciting era for this franchise, and every piece of news like this brings us closer to the greatness we all believe is possible. Thanks for watching, and as always, bear down.